And welcome to the Blaze October customer webinar. Super excited to have everybody join, learn some tips and tricks, learn some recent things that we've shipped recently, and then what's coming on the roadmap, as well as having a special guest, one of our customers, share about how they're using Blaze. So we'll get started, give people a few minutes to join. Would love everybody to say hi in the chat. Let us know where you are joining in from, and then maybe a little bit about your business. So the different types of customers we have, all types of businesses that use Blaze helps give us a little bit of context. Welcome everybody, Wisconsin, Montreal, Illinois. Excited to have everybody join. And this webinar will be recorded and sent to everybody afterwards. So if you have to hop off at any point, totally fine. We'll be sending the recording afterwards. Okay, super excited to have everybody. Real estate companies, B2B, D2C, community and music center, arts, that's awesome. Love the great variety we have here at Blaze with our Blaze customers. All right, I think we are ready to get started. Let me go full screen here. Make sure that everybody can see this. Can everybody see the agenda right now? Okay, great. Well, welcome everybody. My name's Alan Castanelli. I'm a marketing manager here at Blaze, and co-hosting with me is our CEO, Adam Nathan. Adam, you want to say hi?
Hey everyone, good to be here. It's always fun to hang out with our customers, so thanks for making the time today.
Yeah, super excited to have everybody here. Here's what the kind of agenda is. First, we're going to start off with some very actionable tips and tricks. So I've been talking with a bunch of our customers over the past few weeks and want to share some of their tips that they've shared with me and ones that we use as well. Next, after that, we have one of our customers, Derek, is going to hop up on the call and share a little bit about how his company uses Blaze, so you can hear directly from the source. After that, I'm going to go into what's new in Blaze. So what are the recent features that we have shipped and that you can play around with right now? And then after that, Adam is going to go into the roadmap and share a little bit of what is coming next at Blaze, some of the super exciting features that we can't wait to get in your hands. And if we have time, we'll do a Q&A section just at the end. Not sure how this timing will all play out, but I think might have a few minutes at least to do that. So first, we're going to start with my tips and tricks. So I've got kind of 5 here that are ways that I think that you can use Blaze better. So finding documents that you want to come back and use again and again, how to quickly get more ideas as well as get focus when you're doing lots of writing. Easy way to add rich content into the documents that you're creating, as well as how to promote your podcast. So I'm going to hop into Blaze and start sharing my screen here and go through some of these tips and tricks. So to start off, one of the first things I want to show is, let's start with the document. So one of the things that I heard from a lot of our customers and talking to them recently is creating this kind of master brainstorm document. So for my example here, I've got IKEA and I've got fall and winter blog post ideas for IKEA. So this came directly from one of our customers who say they just love having this one document where they just dump their ideas, where, whether they're working with Blaze to create those ideas or just taking the ideas that they have throughout the week and putting them in the document so that it's getting it out of their brain and kind of putting it on paper so that they can go back and look at it later again. And one of the easiest ways to make sure that you can easily find this document is to create this document as one of your favorites. So if I open up my navigation here, you can see how you can move around Blaze. But right now we don't see any favorites. So what I want to do is click the three dots up here on the right and click add to favorites. So what that does, you can see it gets a little gold star. It's been added to our favorites. And now if I go into my navigation, I can see my favorite document right here. So this is a really great way for, number one, for those kind of like brainstorming documents that you want to keep going back to. But another useful way of using this that I heard from a lot of our customers is they want a way to, keep working on a document maybe throughout the week. So they'll start off and work with Blaze to create a first draft of their blog, but they don't have time to finish it all the way. So what they'll do is add it to their favorites, so that they can quickly go back to that document. Because if you're creating lots of files, whether that's documents or designs, social media content in Blaze, if you're just at the home page and you're going to the recent, this can quickly get lost, or if you're going in here. So it's a great way to kind of save your top 5 most used documents, or files right there that you can go in and quickly get back to. And you can see you can easily remove from favorites, or copy and copy this link to use it in multiple ways. Adam, being my boss, we have a one-on-one document where we're collaborating on stuff, and so I always save that to my favorites because that's a document that I go back to again and again, week over week. But I also can use favorites to add a document that I'm working on for like a week or two, and then I'll remove that favorite so this doesn't get clogged up. But I think you can add up to 5 and even more favorites right here. It's just a really quick way to get back to documents that you're working on a lot. All right, my next tip is how to quickly get more ideas. So you can see here that I've got, I don't know, maybe 20 ideas for blog posts. And one of the really cool things that feels very magical, if I hit enter right here, and on a Mac, which I am on, if I hit Command Enter, we have this little whiz prompt here where Blaze is just going to quickly add a 21st idea. So this is a great way, especially with lists and brainstorming, to get more quick ideas where I don't have to type in, say, hey, give me more ideas, which I could always do that. I could always say, add 5 more ideas to this prompt bar down at the bottom. Oops, looks like we ran into an error here. But this is a quick way to just kind of, if I do Command Enter, and just keep adding more and more ideas. And that's what's great about Blaze, is it can quickly give you more and more so that you don't have to, come up with all of this on your own. It's really doing a lot of that thinking for you. And it might not be the perfect idea, thrifty living. Maybe that's not exactly what IKEA wants. But the point of the brainstorming document is to give you just a bunch of ideas, and to get it all on paper so that you can go in and pick, maybe only 3 of these are really great ideas for a blog post, but that's 3 more than what you started out in the beginning. So it's a really great way to add more ideas. The other thing that I want to show you within the document editor that's a little bit hidden, but it's a really cool way to focus, especially if you're writing. So some people love to use the Blaze document editor just as their own writing tool. And one of the cool things that we have in Blaze is focus mode, if you haven't checked it out. So what happens is focus mode, I'll actually start typing right here, just a bunch of random characters. Once you get, I think it's over like 300 characters, you can see all of the background fades away and I'm in focus mode now. So now I don't get distracted by any buttons, any things that might want me to get distracted from writing. I can just really go into this really clean and simplified focus mode version. And if I just hit escape, I get back to all my options where I can do my SEO analysis, check for plagiarism, add other headings and stuff like that. So that's a really cool way to get into focus when you're creating content in Blaze. And if you don't like that mode, you can always turn that off up here in the settings on your document. So there's 3 dots, and then we've got auto focus mode on, but you can always turn that off if you don't like that. Okay, the fourth quick tip that I want to share is the ability to add really rich rich content into your documents. So within our document editor, we have the slash menu. So if you hit slash on your keyboard, you can quickly add things like headings. So I can add my heading 1 right here, but I can also hit slash and I can add in, checklists. I can add in a voting list. So, option 1, option 2. You can also add in things like tables. So this is a really great way to put in, a 3x3 table. You can also do this just by typing and it will filter to it. So if I type slash and I go to table, it's just filtered just to that table and I can add that in again. Another thing that you can do is a bunch of rich media. So content like if I want to add in an image from Unsplash or a GIF from Giphy, you can even embed files. So Figma files, Google Docs, published Canva presentations, as well as things like Miro, or even if you have a YouTube video. So I can do YouTube and then let me scroll down here so I can see the whole screen, and I can paste in a YouTube video that I have and embed that. Oops, I didn't scroll down far enough. There we go. And we can embed this link and this can be playable right within this document. So if you are collaborating with other people and you are wanting to reference videos, tweets, other types of content like that, you can put that right in your document. Okay, and the last thing that I want to share is how to promote a podcast. So a lot of people create podcasts as part of one of the pillars of their content marketing. So what you can do in Blaze is actually turn your podcast content into other types of content. So we've got this on your homepage, these turn into features. So you can turn documents into content, audio files, websites, and video files. So I was just on a podcast recently talking about how Blaze does our marketing. If I go to my desktop here, actually, I think it's in my downloads. Yes, the What's Working Now podcast. What I can do is upload this video file to Blaze and have it analyze that content. So first thing it's going to do is going to upload that video file. This can take a few minutes, just kind of depending on the length and the size of that video file. And then once Blaze has that video file in its system, it's going to start transcribing all the audio. So you can see it's going to start transcribing right now. And then what we can do is turn that transcription into other types of content. So this is perfect for people with podcasts, because really with a podcast and nowadays, you can't just create a podcast and hit publish and hope people that will listen to it. You really have to market it and share it a lot. So the benefit of this is I can turn this podcast into social media tweets that then promote that podcast, or a summary in a version of a blog post that I publish on our blog or in our email newsletter. So it's a really great way to take this kind of pillar piece of content and get a lot more value out of it. Because this was a podcast that I did, I think it was maybe 15 to 18 minutes long. So there's a lot of really great wisdom and nuggets in that podcast that, not everybody loves to listen to podcasts. Some people want to watch a video. Some people like a more newsletter format. Some people just want the kind of clips. So here you can see we've got our transcribed text. So all that text right there. But we're going to turn this into multiple pieces of content. So I'm going to turn this into a Facebook post so I can promote it, put it on my Instagram, LinkedIn, X, as well as an X thread. And then I also want to turn it into a blog post and newsletter as well. So I'm going to confirm those details. We're going to name this as a campaign, innovative marketing strategies for B2B growth. We're going to use our Blaze.ai voice to customize it, and then we're going to generate this content. So now let's go into our content calendar, and this content is going to start generating. And as I mentioned before, you can do this with podcasts, but you can also do this with web pages. So a great use case that I shared with one of our customers last week is taking one of the blog posts that you publish maybe 6 months ago and putting that into Blaze, turning that into other types of content. And you can do that just with a URL. So if we go to create new, turn into, and then turn websites into content, you could just paste in that published blog post and turn that into content that you can then repurpose. Let me go back here, and then let's see if this content, here we go, we can go into Facebook, and you can see some of the Facebook posts that it has created for us. So I know that was a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but that is some quick tips and tricks. Hopefully these are helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's one particular that you liked. But now we are going to, let me stop sharing our screen here and then go back to our webinar. And now I'm super excited to introduce Derek. Derek, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Entrekin of Edwin Mari, I think is the name. Derek, I'm going to invite you on stage right now so that you can join us and tell us a little bit about how you are using Blaze. Hey, Derek. Oh, you're still mute. Your microphone is still muted.
How about that? Is that working?
There we go. Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Can you tell us, maybe pronounce your last name correctly, and tell us a little bit about your business as well?
Yeah, so my name is Derek Entrekin, and I'm the owner and founder of Edwin Web Design. We're a small boutique web design firm that's based in Wisconsin. We originally started outside of DC, and we moved out to Wisconsin just before COVID. We really like to focus on small, mid-sized businesses that are local, that has a really great niche out in our neck of the woods, just because most people come from small towns, manufacturing companies. They have to sell their products and services nationwide, sometimes internationally. There's no one local that they can call up. They're usually pulling web design firms from out of state. And so we really slid into that nice and easily. One of the things that we really love about Blaze, and if you don't mind, I'll just jump into how we use it. I discovered Blaze just on a Facebook ad, and we were having this problem that we were facing with content creation. Content creation is not what I'm good at. It's not really where my heart and my passion lies. So we subcontracted through different services online. Fiverr was one that we started with, and we moved to Upwork. Then we were using referral-based once we moved locally. And what we were finding was the time to complete a project was extended significantly by working with outside content creators, just by matching up our calendars, by trying to make sure that they understood the scope of what we were trying to deliver for our clients, getting the approval from our clients. And it became this kind of obvious topic that we had to tackle, but we knew we didn't want to hire internally. We wanted to focus more on using AI. We had already used tools like ChatGPT. We got into that, I think, as most web designers did, kind of early on, because it was this obvious tool that we could use to create content. We weren't in love with the content that it was putting out. Its different versions have come through and made it a little bit better. But when we came across Blaze this past summer, what we really found was that we could repurpose content faster. Instead of having to go back into a chat through ChatGPT and try and hone and refine, we were spending as much time as we were with our in-person content creators than we were manually doing it. And it sounded like AI. What really broke this out for us was we have a client that is in the medical world. She owns a med spa. back in Virginia where we first met, and the content that we needed to create for her blog post, she was using us for SEO. It was something that we had no real knowledge base on, right? Coming from a world of web design, we couldn't speak to um, prescriptions. We couldn't speak to something you would have to talk to a medical professional on and write that content confidently for her. What we were able to do with the resource tool that you just mentioned, turning content from a website, we started to use resources that she felt were very valuable, not only to her and her clients, but that also talked about, um, Ozempic, I think was one, tirzepatide, semaglutide. These were more fashionable at that moment. It was something that she wanted to, position herself in, but she also wanted to talk about side effects that wasn't being talked about quite often in the media. It was only about the benefits. And so again, we came from a place of, ignorance. And what Blaze allowed us to do was analyze websites and resources that she gave us in writing content. And that client came back just in love with the content that was being put out, because not only did it fall in line with what she was telling her clients, but it also became a resource for her staff to use to provide resources that her clients could then go back and research online. And it came from her website. So she was speaking as an expert using other resources. And it really became a game changer for us to kind of see that now topics that we couldn't speak on confidently, we could use online resources and advance that, putting it into our client's voice. So that was kind of the aha moment for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong. You originally started out just doing web design work, and then
Yeah.
you've been able to add on these other kind of services, right? To kind of be that trusted person. Can you talk about how
Yeah.
Blaze has helped you in that regards?
Yeah, absolutely. When I started with web design, it was about 12 years ago. I was a marketing director for a small entertainment company outside DC, and I was so fed up with just the back and forth with a larger web design company. We were small, our capital was thin, it didn't appeal to their target client, and we ended up using kind of DIY tools, right? So Wix and Squarespace. And I got interested into the web design side, got a little bit more advanced, went through WordPress. Now we're on Webflow, and I feel very confident with where these tools are at. But along the way, we're constantly trying to advance our web design skills. That you only have so much time in the day, especially when you have kids at home that need your attention, and you just don't have that kind of time. When we started looking at offering services such as SEO, this was about 5 years ago, we had to go and use content creators to write blog posts that were SEO focused based on keyword descriptions that we identified, making sure that they were knowledgeable. And it wasn't really what we were hoping for, but it gave Google what it wanted, but clients, I would say, were less than impressed with the content. Just again, coming from a point where the author wasn't necessarily writing from expertise, but trying to pull as much resources. When we started using Blaze, again, we've only been using it for a few months, but it has really revolutionized how we were able to develop content, the speed that we're able to develop it. So when we created our price list for SEO, we were able to increase our charges because content was now built in at a faster pace, where maybe we were developing 2 to 4 pieces of content per month for our top tier clients. We were able to now start putting in content using the pillar method, which we got from HubSpot, and kind of their focus on how to develop SEO minded content, which requires a primary post that then you can move and connect up to 8 different subtopics on the one post, all kind of supporting that and becoming a rich library of content. Well, we weren't going to spend thousands of dollars on that for most of our clients when our SEO budget was that we were pulling it from our clients didn't warrant it. This allowed us to do that. So we were able to develop content on a monthly theme that we could then have supportive content that only helped it get picked up by larger news articles when we do social media blasts, or we try and get our articles connected into nationwide network distributions, newspapers, online resources, they could go in and see that it was a deeper set of information than just one standalone post. So it just became a resource that allowed us to get picked up by more online news articles and posts. So it did really help us advance that SEO side.
Yeah, totally. And it sounds like it's benefit for you as an agency, but also a benefit for the client in just getting, more content and more high quality content.
Yeah, and
Uh,
faster. I can't
yeah,
emphasize the speed. Again, there is only so much time in the day. I'm spending, 20% of my day marketing like a good business owner should, going out and talking to people, trying to grow our business. We're relationship based. I do a lot of our new clients. They find us online with the SEO that we've put in. They trust us that we can get them to that same position, but they still want to talk to us and have a good conversation. We still have to learn about them. We are not, vertical focused. We know many people in our space will focus only on manufacturing or only on med spas, but we really don't have that luxury when we want to stay local. We have such a wide berth of clients that we have to be knowledgeable in everything, and this gives us that tool to not only speak their industry lingo, but to come at it from a point that satisfies basic SEO requirements, can verify that it's not being plagiarized, that it does sound human, and does come from a place of knowledge. So it checks off a lot of those boxes to the point where we haven't used our content creator since we started using Blaze.
awesome. Maybe for our last question, if there's any tips or tricks that you use or have with Blaze that you think other business owners should use or try within Blaze, or maybe a favorite content creation wizard that you like as well.
Well, you actually showed it to me in our meeting, and I was very surprised at how much and easily I could integrate it. So one thing that I take, I have pen, paper, and my phone everywhere I go. And so what I got into habit after you demonstrated it is pulling out my voice recording, voice memo app, and just recording a conversation that I'll have with a client. I can then upload that audio file, and it can then create the content from it. So when I talk to my client from Rejuvelase, which is the med spa in Virginia, talk to her about a new product that she's about to publish and put online for sale, I can actually ask her for 2 to 3 minutes, describe the product, give me the pros and cons, the benefits for your clients, take that, use the resource tool to go and find online resources to pull information from, and I can create and craft a post, a Facebook post, as well as a blog post, as well as something for their newsletter in a matter of 10 minutes. I mean, it's wild how easy it is. For someone who's constantly engaged in technology, it's crazy how fast everything is turning, but this has just been, fantastic for us.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Derek, so much for joining us and telling us a little bit about your process and your business. We really appreciate it, and hope other people can take advantage of that tip too. That turned into feature, as I mentioned. It works for podcasts. You shared it can work for interviewing your customers. There's so many use cases for it, so would love everybody to go into Blaze and try it out, because we really think it's an amazing, like you mentioned, time saver of just creating so much content with just a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate it, Derek. I will. There you go. And then now, so the next part of our webinar, we're going to talk about what's new in Blaze. So some of the things that we have recently launched in Blaze that we want to make sure that everybody knows about, because as many people have told me, as someone who talks with our customers all the time, a lot of people feel like they're only using 10 or 20% of Blaze. And so we want you to feel empowered and knowledgeable about everything that's new in Blaze. So one of the first things is our new designer tool. So this launched, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, with the ability now for you to design and create image-based content within Blaze. So this is really for people who are familiar with popular tools like Canva. This is Blaze's answer to that, where you can do it right within Blaze, where you're not having to go between multiple tools. With Blaze, you can actually design the content right within Blaze, as well as the captions, and make sure that it's in your style. So one of the things that we launched in addition to the designer was the ability to create brand styles, where you can take your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed and have Blaze analyze it to grab your logos, the most popular colors that you're using, as well as the different fonts, so that when you're designing content in Blaze, whether that's on Instagram, Facebook, maybe you're making thumbnails for YouTube, you can do it with that. It's all that content is matching with your existing brand. So it just makes that process of creating content that looks like you and sounds like you that much faster. So now within Blaze, you can use your brand voice to make sure those captions, that text-based content, is sounding like your brand. And now with brand styles, you can make sure it visually looks like yours as well. And in addition, as part of the designer launch, we launched over 500 templates to make it really easy to create visual-based content in Blaze. I think we've added probably another 100 or 200 since then. This is something that we're continually adding to. So whether that's on Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, we've got all these different types of templates to really make it easy for you to quickly create content. Whether it's kind of more visual ones, maybe it's more text-based ones, maybe you're having a customer quote, or you're featuring a product, a screenshot from your website. There's all different types of templates that you can filter and search through to find something that's exactly what you want. And next, what we also launched in Blaze is the ability to cross-post content when you are creating content. So if you know that you are creating content and you know that you're going to want to post this on X or Twitter, in addition to Facebook and LinkedIn, you can do that right from the content creation wizard, making it that much quicker to create multiple versions of content. And another small, but I think mighty tweak is the previews that we've added. So when you're looking at your content calendar, now you can hover over each of your pieces of content and get a quick preview of what that content looks like. So making the calendar view in Blaze that much more visual and the primary place that you can organize and plan out all your marketing content. So you can truly use this as your marketing calendar for how you're creating content. And last, I think this is last but not least, is the ability to add video content into Blaze. So this is something that we've been hearing probably for the past, I don't know, maybe 6 or 9 months, people wanting more video posting ability. So now within Blaze, you can add video content to your scheduled posts. You can put video as a background, as you can see here, and really manage and add, edit, and publish video content right from within Blaze. We're going to be adding more video functionality to Blaze, as Adam might allude to a little bit here on our roadmap. But we know video is super important to marketing content nowadays, and want to support that in all the content that you're creating. And if you don't know where to find out all this new features that we are launching, we have a dedicated page on our website. So if you go to blaze.ai/what's-new, you can see all the different features that we are launching each week. We're including this in our weekly newsletter as well. And we also have this little modal that you'll see in the bottom left navigation whenever you're logging into Blaze when we're launching new features. So make sure to click on that, check it out to see what's new in Blaze. We're adding features every single week. And so if you want to be one of those users who are using 100% of the features, this is a great way to stay informed. All right, and now I am going to hand it over to Adam to start talking about our Blaze roadmap. Adam, do you want me to continue sharing or do you want to take over?
I can take over if that works.
Yeah, let me stop sharing so you got that.
Can you all see my screen now?
Yep, we can.
Do I maximize this, Alan?
Yeah. You won't be able to see me, but you can go into presentation mode.
Okay. Is it maximized now?
Yes.
Cool. Great. Well, thanks everyone for being here. It's good to be with you. I'm Adam. Again, I'm the CEO and founder of Blaze. And thanks to Alan for walking us through everything that we built already in the last year for you at Blaze. Just to give you all context, we launched Blaze only about a year ago. It was like a year and a week ago. And so we've been really busy building and building and building, and we have a super aggressive and exciting plan for what we are working on for you for the next year. And so I just want to pull up before getting into some of our exciting new features, just to share with you our vision for Blaze. So, you may think about Blaze as like an AI generation tool for text and images, but what we really want to be for you is like a virtual marketing assistant on your team. We want to be able to do what we call full lifecycle marketing for you, so that you don't have to hire someone on your team. You don't have to pay money for an agency. You don't have to spend money and time with 100 different tools. We want to basically be that virtual marketer that understands your brand, understands your goals, and can generate and post really high quality content for you that actually helps you grow impressions, site visits, conversions, and ultimately your customers and revenue. And so when we say full lifecycle marketing, we really think about this kind of lifecycle in 5 steps. The first is what we call planning, which is knowing what to write. Then the second step is actually taking that plan and using it to generate content, whether it's images, text, or video. Then obviously sometimes the first generation is not great. So we want to give you really rich abilities to refine and edit that content so that you can then schedule and post it across many different channels: social media, blog CMSs, your email software, your website tools. We want to be able to integrate with those tools that you already use really easily so that you can get the content from Blaze to where your customers are. And last but not least, we want to give you the ability to actually see how that content performs so that you can generate more like the winners. And so this is what we're building towards. And I'd say we're about 60, 70% of the way there, but in the next couple months, we'll get all the way there. And so I'm going to walk you through some of what you'll see in the product in the next couple months. So the first is really exciting. So next week, you'll have the ability to integrate with TikTok. And so a lot of our integrations so far have been social media products that focus on images. So things like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And TikTok, along with Instagram Reels, is our first integration around video. So Alan mentioned today in the product, you have the ability to upload and post videos or export them to Instagram. And soon you'll be able to do the same with TikTok. And we have, how do I jump ahead here? We have a full list of integrations that we're working on, an integrations roadmap. You all tell us all the time what integrations you'd like. And so we basically have a tracker internally where we count the number of votes for different tools to integrate with. And we have a dedicated portion of our engineering team that focuses on integrations. And so we're always working on new integrations for you. Some of the ones that are coming up next by popular demand are YouTube, Shopify, Square. So YouTube is obviously videos, Shopify, Squarespace, and Go High Level for your blogs or CMSs, and then Webflow and Wix for websites. And so all of these integrations are at the top of our list. We have a long list of integrations beyond this, but if your favorite integration is not on this list, put it in the chat here. You write right into me or Alan or our support team, and we'll make sure to log that and hopefully get to the integration that you must care about in the coming months. Integrations, obviously, there's many marketing tools out there. There's many places where you share content, and we want to make it really easy for you to post in one click from Blaze to all those different places across things like blog posts, social media content, emails, websites, and more. So I started there with posts, but the thing that I'm most excited about is the ability to actually see how the content that you post or schedule either from Blaze or just on your own is actually performing. And so coming soon in Blaze is a rich set of account analytics for all the accounts you integrate in Blaze. So this will be supported for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and WordPress. And you can see some screenshots here of the analytics that we'll provide for you. We'll show things like the growth in your followers, impressions, and reach. We'll also show engagement based on audience type and demographics and location. We also will show your best performing posts. And the thing that I'm most excited about these analytics is that we can, because you integrate and we can see what's performing well, we can help you generate more content like your best performing posts. And so this really enables that full life cycle I was talking about, where you're not just guessing in the dark about what would work, but Blaze can help you identify the stuff that's actually generating business for you, and then help you generate even more content that looks and sounds like that. And so this allows you to grow in a virtuous cycle in terms of your marketing effectiveness, and is a key piece to that life cycle I was mentioning. So I kind of started in the life cycle with the post and then analyze steps, but because we can then take those analytics, we can actually help you plan for the future. And one thing we hear from a lot of customers is that they actually don't know what to write about in the first place. And so, yeah, they might have, a social media account, and yeah, Blaze can help them generate social media content. But the first question they often have is like, what should I write? What should I write about? What types of contents? Who are my target audiences? And so we're building a bunch of features in Blaze to help you figure out how to plan better for the content and marketing that you do. One thing we hear from a bunch of customers when request is that they actually want help building out a full marketing plan. And so this is more on the strategy side, more strategic in terms of output than anything that you see in Blaze today. But Blaze will basically help you generate a marketing plan. And so it'll help you identify the best features to talk about to your customers. It'll help you create a one-line sentence to describe a product or business or service. It'll break down your target customer personas and your key competitors. And this will be like a source material in Blaze, so that all of the content that you generate can really target those benefits and features, talk to specific customer personas, contrast your product to competitors or alternatives, and make your marketing overall more strategic. We also, so I'm excited about this because, for those of you who are marketing agencies out there, you can use this not just for your own company, but also to help with your customers and clients as well.
Yeah, and that's something I've heard from a lot of our customers who are maybe more on the early side of their entrepreneur journey, who are just kind of starting up a business for the first time, and know that they should have some sort of marketing plan or some more strategic documents, but don't really know where to get started. So I think that tool is going to be a great way to kind of be one of those first things that you create in Blaze. And then based off that, you're creating you're creating your content that is strategic, not just kind of, here's a random idea.
Yeah. So yeah, everything that I'm mentioning here, by the way, are not just ideas that we came up with on our own. 100% of our roadmap is based on things that you tell us you need. We don't sit around internally and just say, what should we build next? It's all based on what we hear from you. So I hope a lot of this that I'm going over reflects things that you've thought, or even better, reported into us about feature requests. And please continue to tell us what you need, what we can do to help serve you better. That's why we're here. That's why we exist. We want to make it easier for you to grow your business and save time in the process. And so continue to write in with your thoughts and features and ideas. We'd love to hear from you. On that note, I think probably the biggest complaint area right now we hear in the product is about images. We generate AI images for you, but until I guess a couple weeks from now, it's been really hard to improve those images. If you've used our secondary actions on text, you can highlight text and ask Blaze to make it shorter for you, or improve it, or change the language. And what we're adding in is the ability to do the same types of secondary refinements on images too. So there's going to be close to 50 different things you can do to refine an image. You can see some examples over here. Blaze will be able to automatically change the color, the light profile, add an effects on an image. This can be for both AI generated images in Blaze, as well as for images that you upload from an image library. And so this will be really exciting, because our hope is that we can take the images that you create in Blaze and turn them into kind of 10 out of 10 amazing visuals that you're really proud to share on your social media or in other content that you publish from Blaze. One other, sorry, I know I'm going through a lot of stuff here, but you can tell how busy we are as a team. Another thing that we hear as kind of a key feature request from customers is around our blog posts. So a lot of what I've just been talking about relates to social media, but blog posts are a top 3 content type that customers generate in Blaze. And one big request has been the ability to generate outbound links within the blog post we create for you. And so soon in Blaze, you'll be able to either add backlinks to your internal website, which should increase your ranking, as well as add external links to other websites. And so you can either add them in manually, or you can even have Blaze suggest external links for you. And this will improve the relevance of your blog post and help your website rank more highly based on these backlinks. And on that note, I think we have over 200 different types of wizards in the product right now, but a key request we get from y'all is to have even more content types. And so we are adding in wizards for podcasts, ebooks, courses, white papers, and newsletters. And on all these fronts, we're not just adding in a single wizard. They often are 6 to 7 wizards. So for podcasts, just to give you an example of the podcast bundle we're adding in, Blaze will generate podcast scripts for you, similar to how we do blog posts today. But also we can help you generate blog post ideas, generate an outline of podcast content. We can generate show notes for you, a transcript, speaker bios, and even promotional campaigns for podcasts you create. And so we'll be doing very similar types of bundles for these other categories. And that will hopefully help you expand the type of marketing that you can do into these new and exciting areas. I talked a bit about images before. We also are adding in the ability to upload images of your products and services. And then that will be another category so that when you generate content in Blaze, it's not just picking random stock photos for you, but you can actually direct Blaze to specifically pull in images of products that you have. And this is another way that we're going to help improve the relevance of the images that we add into your content. 2 last things, and would love to hear any questions with the time that we have. We have a lot of functionality in Blaze, and it's only growing, as you can tell. And so a big focus of ours, besides just adding in all these features, is how to make Blaze simpler and easier for you. Those are 2 of the words we hear most from our happy customers, that Blaze makes it really easy to generate content. It's not complicated. You don't have to be an expert. And we want to continually, we internally continually ask ourselves, how do we make the product even easier to use? And so if you may have noticed on our new home screen, or on the home screen of the product, we have a button called Make This Easy for Me. And it's been a really popular feature with customers because it's basically a new, kind of more straightforward style of helping you figure out all the functionality Blaze has and gets you to what you need without you getting confused. And so where we're taking that approach of kind of a simpler and more obvious set of kind of selections to the rest of the product. So this is an early preview of a new home screen that we'll be continuing to work on and test with our top customers. It actually looks more like Amazon or YouTube and products that you might be used to that have a ton of content, but still are really easy to navigate. So this is just kind of a preview of what the product might look like in the coming months. And again, our goal is to make it really easy for you to get to what you need and then move on with your life and get back to stuff that matters. And the last thing I'll mention, which has been a huge project for us as well, is taking everything that you know and love about Blaze on your desktop or on your mobile web tool and turning it into a native app. So we're working on a native iOS app. It's really cool. It's very, very sexy. We already have versions of it we've been playing with internally. The great thing about a mobile app is that there's some types of content, like social media in particular, that it's more native to the phone than to your computer. You may take a photo of a product with your phone. You don't want to have to move it over to your computer. You actually want to see what it's going to look like on your phone, because obviously people are consuming social media mostly on their phones. And so for especially some of those use cases, I think this mobile app is going to be revolutionary to how you use Blaze. And I'm excited to hopefully get it into your hands later this fall or early next year. Like with everything that we do, we really care about the quality of our product. We want to make sure that it's a great experience for you. And so we've been testing it internally. We'll start to open it up to some customers. And so Alan, I think, often sends around access to our beta program. We have several hundred customers who are part of it. It gets you access to a lot of these new features I've been talking about before everybody else. Our only ask is that you try those things and you tell us what's working about them and what's not. And so we'll open up our beta program for our mobile app probably in the coming weeks, and would love to have as many of you who are interested help us test it out.
All right. So much great content. Thanks for sharing that roadmap, Adam. And yeah, as Derek said in the chat, very excited for these updates. And Sandy saying that's amazing. We love it. We hope we are building the right things for you, and definitely want to hear if we are and if we aren't as well. We've got about 10 minutes left in our webinar here. So want to open it up to questions now. If anybody has questions about the roadmap, any tips and tricks that we shared, any questions about the recently launched features, Adam and I will stick around for the next, kind of 8 or 9 minutes here, and can answer those. So if anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat and we will address those. I do, while people are doing that, I do have a request from you. If you are loving Blaze, we would love to get your testimonial. So I put the link in the chat there. This is a new tool that we're using to collect testimonials from Blaze customers. So what you do, you go to that link and record a little 1 or 2 minute video about how you are using Blaze, what you love about it, what your favorite features are, so that we can share that with the world and share that with other marketers, other entrepreneurs who want to use Blaze and AI tools to help them grow their business. So those videos will appear on our customers page on our website, as well as potentially social media, little clips and ads. We would love for anybody to hop in there and record a little 1 or 2 minute video.
Yeah, I can take some of these questions. So Kiki is talking, she asks, or I don't know if Kiki's a man or woman, but they're asking for Instagram posts. Is there a way to put text inside the image? The answer is yes, Kiki. We have different types of Instagram posts you can choose from. So in the create new menu, you'll have an option to create either a text-based Instagram post or a visual Instagram post. If you click the visual Instagram post, it'll take you to our designer product where you can add text on top of images, you can add shapes, all sorts of different stickers, very similar to how Canva works. And so that allows you to build pretty complicated visuals within Blaze. Of course, Blaze is AI native, and so Blaze will actually generate that post for you based on a prompt that you put in. But then afterwards, you can go and modify it, add in different text objects with different gradients and fonts and colors that are really fun to use. Another easy question here from Carolee Ann is, if it's possible to have 2 brand voices in sets of social media within Blaze. Yes, you can create, I think, theoretically infinite brand voices and brand styles within Blaze. And then as you create content, you have the choice of which brand voice or style, as well as which source materials, where you can teach Blaze how to talk about your product for different types of content.
Yeah, on the starter, I think it's the creator plan, you can have up to 3 brand voices. And then our team plan has, I think the limit is 10. And then if you really wanted more, you could pay, you could pay for more, but that's kind of the limits. And you can use those brand voices for, maybe a more formal or a more kind of persuasive brand voice when you're writing copy for like a landing page or Facebook ads or Google ads. But then you might want to use a more casual, fun brand voice when you're creating content, maybe your scripts for TikTok or YouTube. So you can really kind of mix and match and use those different brand voices depending on what type of content you're creating. Next question. Will there be any LinkedIn specific hints, tips, or tools coming? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Lee. Are you wanting a different, are you looking for tips from the Blaze team on how to create LinkedIn content, or are you thinking a different type of content creation wizard that supports LinkedIn?
Yeah, same. I have Lee and also Brian, your question on the friction you're feeling around when you say digging in my social media content to schedule. Would love for you to follow up with me and Alan. My email is adam@blaze.ai, Alan@blaze.ai. Would love to get more details from y'all on what exactly you mean as Brian or anyone in particular, if you're having trouble with the app. I see Brian also mentions maybe an issue with generating material. Please send us screenshots or just a screen recording of the product. That really helps us and our engineering team understand what you're seeing so that we can help fix it really quickly.
Yeah, and I'll just give a shout out to our support team as well. So if in the app at any time you're running into issues, you can click this question mark down here. View our Blaze Academy at Help Center, which is kind of like on-demand resources. But if you're wanting to send a message to our team, you can do that right here. And that is, somebody asks about registering for the mobile beta app. Probably the best way to do that is send a message right here and say that you're interested, and that will get filtered over to me, and I can add you to our list once we start creating that beta list. And then Lee also asked, training videos about how to do some of the basic functions. So yeah, perfect place to do that is right here in the Blaze Academy. So this is kind of an area where, number one, you can see how many hours you have saved using Blaze and how many docs you've created. But then you can also watch some of our videos right here on how to, create a brand voice, how to generate content, as well as, scheduling posts and do all that repurposing. You can see these are down here at the bottom. These are just kind of opening up your embedded YouTube videos. So as well as if you go to our YouTube channel, we've got a whole playlist. Let me go to playlists here. And then we've got a playlist just on Blaze integrations, as well as how to create content in Blaze. And then I think this, how to grow with Blaze, Blaze 101. We've got, 20 videos here, all teaching you how to use the different parts of Blaze. So that is the best resource. And we are creating a lot more videos coming soon here, because we've heard this request from quite a few people of wanting more tutorials, more ways to use Blaze, and kind of walking you through that. So we'll have a lot more content. So easiest way to do that is just subscribe to the Blaze YouTube channel, and that will all appear in your YouTube feed. All right. I think we will wrap up the webinar there. Thank you, everybody, for attending. This recording will be sent to you in probably 30 minutes or an hour once it's finished uploading. But super excited to have everybody here learning about Blaze. Thank you, Derek, again, for sharing how his company is using Blaze. Hopefully you guys learned something. We're hoping to do these types of webinars every month, every other month. So if you want to hear more about these, send us a message to support, follow us on social media, email Adam and I, and bug us, and we'll definitely do even more of these. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.